Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for the week of September 11th through the 17th, 2023. So, as we begin this week's reading, first I'd like to thank everyone who is returning to this weekly series and to also welcome anyone who might be new to our Angelic Wisdom community. So, just a few things before we get into the reading, and just a little update. My brother Gary has been moved into the inpatient rehab facility at another hospital in the neighboring city, actually the city where we grew up. So, he's adjusting. I think he's, at this point where he's really frustrated and about a lot of things, obviously, right? So we're just hoping that the work that is done there will help him and to regain mobility, so on his right side and with his speech. So that's the main things right now that we're just continue to ask your prayers and all your healing for. As I have might have mentioned, there's quite a few people in my family that have been sick this year, especially with the strokes. But my father and um, several other people that I found out about when I went home this year from my mom's cousins and things of this nature. And then my first cousin, he's the oldest of our cousins, has been in the hospital 3 times, and had several different surgeries. So his name is Rex. So please keep him in your prayers as well and sending him healing. It's a very, very unusual time. And I do feel like, I probably said it before, there's a lot of unusual um, shifts happening sort of simultaneously. And this reminds me of what I have interpreted by what my teacher mentor Kim Sear, when she spoke about the choice point. And I've seen it happen in my life where it's like, and personally, when it's not anything else happening outside of me, but it's just personally like I'm going through the worst and the best of things at the same time. That's the best way I could describe it to you, where the choice point is. And it's like the universe's way, but this is what we've set up. This is what is the reality that we've given life to. However, on there's always two sides of the coin on any vibrational frequency in which your beliefs, feelings, thoughts, and ideas are contributing towards this frequency. And when both sides of the coin are revealed, this is a gateway, an opening for you to see what the choices are. Because I guess, like, when we're in that negative mode, we can't feel or sense the its complete opposite, the complete positive opportunity that flip side is also represented. It's sort of like the negative is really just how great it is on the other side, but only we're usually stuck on either. And just talking to my one of my roommates about this, I'm really starting to understand. I think it's all about balance. I think in terms of our expectation, I don't mean that we shouldn't strive for the ideal situation, but I think it's not about one or the other, where it's about the observer the one who appreciates life, so that all life, no matter whether it's negative or positive, that you are in that fifth dimensional personality where you perceive that everything is still working for the greater good, and that this is just one type of journey in order to reach that, your goal or that opportunity. And though, when in our three-dimensional mind, one feels god awful and one feels, you know, amazing, right? Um, but to be in that balanced place of observation, awareness, and appreciation helps us to sort of live a more centered and grounded life. And I'm not trying to, I don't want to hint at the behavior. And I don't want you to focus on like, oh, I should just be like solemn or whatever. No. But I think it's about being present because this past week I had a new job interview um, in a um, Episcopal school that is going to be great because, and it's music, right? And yeah, I got so sick in my stomach before the interview, like, and seeing my body create this kind of illness was kind of interesting to, and I tried everything I've been given, um, and what came back to me was something that I experienced a long time ago when I had a hallucination of I was in such fear that I was going to die, that the walls, the ceiling just came in, and a voice said, "Tell it to prove it to you." And when that voice did that, it brought me into an awareness. It sort of brought me into the observation and of what was happening to me, and it brought me to it brought me some common sense, and I realized when it said that yeah, there's no reason for me to be afraid right now, because the illusion was trying to disrupt my focus on the present. It had me in limbo, which I call, you know, worrying about the future or worrying about the past. And when I realized it, when I said, yeah, prove it to me right now that this is going to happen to me right now. And this is the reason why I need to be afraid and out of my bed in the middle of the night. And it went away. And similarly, this similar event, it wasn't about death, but it just like, you're going to fail. And and I just remembered something brought that back to my memory. And when I just sat there and it waited for it to prove itself, all those things that were going through my head, that put me in the observer mode. And that feeling in my gut just started to go away. And so then I was no longer, I was still feeling, this subtle emotions, variety of things. But I don't want to give you this false impression as I try to describe it, but I was, let's say, no longer overwhelmed by it. And I could function a little bit better and good enough to just, you know, go with the flow, even though I felt like I was in limbo, flowing a bit. But when the interview started, click, right? So it's the same thing here. You don't need you don't need to get rid of negativity completely. You don't need to be totally positive in order for you to have what you deserve. As a matter of fact, that struggle, none of it is necessary. You don't have to be a part of it at all. And we would like not to. However, We've created it, right? So we're the only ones that can get ourselves out of it, or we're the only ones. It's not about getting out of it. What happens is when you face it, it cannot face you. That's really the truth. And again, I don't want to give you this sort of false sense of how this works, but I'm telling you that when you face it, and I guess why the practice of meditation prepares you to be able to be so present that when you face it and you just sort of say, okay, show me. It's that moment. There is no show. There's nothing to show you. It's all conjecture. It's all, you know, it's all about convincing you, persuading you to give your attention to it in order to ignite the flame that creates reality for us. And so I'm not going to tell you that I'm not going to worry again, or that I'm not going to worry when I get the invitation for the final, you know, interview, which is in-person demo, which should happen within the next week or two. But I will think about this practice of just facing something. And it's with I don't want to give it a name because I don't want you to try to reach for anything, but it's just you have to face it with who you are, with a sense of, I know this is me. I don't like this me. It's ugly. It's ugly in so many ways, maybe because I don't like its weakness. I don't like um, its texture, its, you know, feelings, whatever it is, but it's me. And it needs to prove to me that I need to be this way right now. Give it your best shot. There is no shot. Guarantee you that there's no shot. But there's something you have to find for yourself, truly. So yes, and so this choice point gives you the opportunity to decide who who you want to be from that moment forward. And they'll come again, these choice points. But they are gateways. To me, they are gateways because gateways allow for paradigm shifts. They allow for you to sort of tap into a whole new dimension of your awareness, of your potential. And the we're seeing it globally right now. And the point I was moving towards is that we're seeing this not just for ourselves anymore, but we're seeing it collectively. So not only was I seeing this happening in my life, and it was just on the day before I had the interview with all this hope, and the next day my brother, right? And he's a part of my heart, so it's a part of my life. It was a clear choice point. And then I'm seeing it happening within my family. I've never seen, it's usually one person that's ill in our family. And I have a huge family of cousins that go back to my grandmother's siblings and their children. In my family, we know each other this far, and we're very close, and so it's a lot of people, and then communities of people that we grew up with. They're like our family. That's just how it was in my time. And then I'm seeing things like what's happening in Maui, in California, in South America. There was all these events happening, um, around the earth, around the globe, and that's and then juxtaposed next to what I'm going through. So you might be seeing this, and that means that we all, everything that's going on right now, if you step out of the fear, total fear of it, and you may have to ask it to prove itself to you to that you need to be worried right now about more disasters, or that elections are going to be lost, and people um, who are hungry for power are going to take over our world and turn it into some you know um, dark, abysmal, whatever, like some of these TV shows have been doing. Everything has a purpose. I'm not here to judge any of those things, because everything is serving, there's nothing that it is not serving the greater good. I really want to put that to you as plainly as possible. When I say, I'm going to say this in an old fashioned way, first of all, there is nothing, no power, but God's power, and that power is love. All the other was choice. It was a gift given to us, the ability to choose. But with those choices, no matter how dark some of us on the planet may choose, and I say that, I know it sounds in total judgment, but I'm only saying it as a way to describe, based on the way that we perceive things from our humanity, our three-dimensional personality, that every choice that anyone makes on this planet is always being rerouted back into the service of source. So their choices will provoke a reaction of light from within each and every one of us to call upon the universe's resources of light to aid us. Some events will provoke the universe's aid without our need for permission. The point is that there is a fail safe or proof, I don't know but basically we're always safe because of this. And so we need to step out of the fear, and we need to come into the observation of the observation and realization of the self. And whatever you fear, just ask it to prove it to you right then and there. No waiting. Because it's not waiting on you. It's got you all bent out of shape right in the moment. So, nope, you got to prove it right now. Don't worry about what it's saying it could do, because that's how you got there. But right now, and when it does, which it won't, what happens is that fear dissipates. And you may have to keep practicing this. This just might be the challenge itself, for you to come into the awareness that you have nothing to fear, because there is only light at the end at the end of the road of any disparity. There is only light waiting to embrace you and waiting to help recalibrate your entire existence and all your beliefs back into the fold. So this is why it's important, as I see the word confession, not to hold on to anything, not to keep it deep inside of you, not to hide it from others, those you love. Because once you hide it, that's when the talk starts. That's when that persuasion starts. That's when this Faustian sort of voice is able to pull you astray where there is no astray. But in that world of illusion, it seems as though you are going astray by the way you feel. And it's just a feeling journey. that you're taken upon. So be very consciously aware of this moment, a critical choice point, not only within your own life, but globally. And you and I are participating in both. So, what you do for yourself personally to come back into the fold of light will be amplified. That light will be, that work, that process will be amplified for the collective. Like a mighty blazing sword that with one swipe can do for all what it can do for just one. That's how powerful each and every one of us is. That's how valuable and invaluable each and every soul is to the greater whole, because every soul is the source itself. So, therefore, if one lights up with the clarity of its optimal truth, then that one has the power to clarify for all. Truly. But we have free will. And so we can all choose to live in degrees of our awareness of that which we are. And although that might seemingly hold us back, it will never keep that potential from existing. It's going to get there. It's just going to keep shining that light, shining that light, shining that light. And it can take eons as it already has, until the point it will, all will achieve it. But it will never lose the goal. There is no other power to overcome that power of love, because everything that is done, every idea, every invitation, every impetus is only an act of love. Everything that you want for yourself is being inspired, and that inspiration is source, and source, everything. That's the way that the tool, the instrument of creation for source is love. That is the only way you can create any reality. Even if it goes twisted, because you gave up, or you stopped believing, you lost the faith, or you lost your way, and in terms of your understanding of what the power is that you're pursuing. But nothing can be done. That's why this Faustian voice needs to convince you. It needs to talk you into its perspective. And it has to do a lot of work to do that, to get you to focus your creative energies, frequency, essence upon that which is calling you towards. And that's how it starts to manifest, like everything else. So you want to think of the law of attraction. The power behind it is love. That which is drawn to us out of our own desire to heal, to inspire, to improve, to contribute, to do, to be. That is love. And that is the mechanism of the law of attraction. So don't be upset with yourself for not achieving what you want. Just focus on what it is that you want, and knowing that you deserve it, because it is coming from the voice of love. And you just got to get over those parts of you that feels like you don't deserve it. I'm telling you from experience. All right. So let's take a look at the since we're kind of get let's just take a look at the Archangel Oracle and just sort of seeing a gateway. And this is Lord Wywyvsil. So it's an archangel from another universe. But as you can see, that he's wearing this scarab, and there's an Egyptian sort of connection here with this archangel. It is an archangel, but it comes from another universe. And it says, accept and send healing. You are the being of the universe. And I'm just hearing that he wants to remind you that you are all universal beings. You are not just, so you've all been summoned here. You've all been summoned here. And we've all probably heard this from different spiritual teachers because it's a truth. And they keep writing the word respect in front of me right now. And this is something that we have to respect, where our three-dimensional personality has no respect for this. And so it keeps criticizing, tearing apart, ripping to shreds. It's like, here's your diploma, or you got the certificate, is whatever this is, and it says, you are a universal being. You've been on so many different planes in different parts of the universe, in very high frequency, spiritual, evolved societies. And you come here with powerful healing abilities. You've been summoned here by Lady Gaia because of the incredible life experiences and the lifestyle, the high vibrations that you've been able to sustain in other evolve states and societies. I mean, states of being and societies in other parts of the universe. You and I have forgotten all of this, and we feel such intense torture, and it feels like nobody else is going through this, and so you don't want to tell anybody. You don't know how to tell the other people just how tortured you feel. And I remember they were showing me, as I was starting the introduction, a window with a cross in it, a huge cross. And that's my symbol for suffering. But it reminds me of some of these crosses that you might see on a seal of valor too. It's sort of like you've well, one, it feels like you've earned the opportunities that you are ready for, but that you're struggling with right now. It feels like that you got a medal, and that's why you were brought here, because you overcame so much, but you've been through so much. And right now, all you can remember is all the pain. But you don't realize why you're experiencing the pain, because on the flip side of that coin is all the greatness of achievement that you have already gone through, meaning you already overcame all this in these other lifetimes and in these other dimensions and parts of the universe. And you're suffering, it seems, you're suffering in a way that almost you feel great shame and guilt about, and you don't know why. And it's not there as a retribution, but it's there as a reminder, this is not who you are. It's like the intensity of the pain is just to let you know just how, the flip side of the coin, just how extraordinary you are. You could, with a snap, release this, get your, free yourself from this whole karmic cycle. And you have the ability to overcome lower frequencies. You have the ability to raise your frequency at will, but you're forgetting all of this because you're stuck in the muck. And it's because you're trying to fight it. You can't, what you resist will persist. So don't fight. Be, observe, be present, face it. Ask it to prove itself. That might be the key. But all of your keys might be slightly different from the one that I found. I can only share that with you. But stuck, trapped, no, that's not you. And so if you call upon Lord Wywyvsil and you're ready to accept that you are powerful, because this archangel is extremely powerful. If you're willing to accept that you are powerful and that you are a universal being, then you will feel an instantaneous solution, healing, answer, or clearing to help you bring light into your path and the path of others. As you can see, that light starts from a very high place and it's being brought down through you. And that is what you really need to be focusing on right now, is offering your light, offering the resources of your journey through many, many lifetimes. So that's going to be sort of the mandate for you in this week. Okay, and so the first card is the Eight of Fire. And so what we can see is all of this movement, like things launching and taking off and shooting off in different directions. And one of the things that's coming to me is that the movement of you, the essence of you, the desire of you, your frequency, your desire, this love, this power, once you enacted on any subject in your life or on behalf of anyone, it will immediately, or if it's just for yourself, if something is calling you your goal, but your goal is going to affect everything around you. And it's going to be instantaneous, no matter how much you're suffering or how much you are reveling in the success of whatever you've accomplished. This love will infect and influence, heal instantaneously. You don't have to worry about where you're vibrating. Just know that you are an activation for so many and for so many things within your own life right now. So whatever you're going through, it's an activation. Whether it's negative or positive, it's an activation. You can just see how this light over here, there's a breakthrough of light where there's all this shadows around, but you are bringing the frequency. And so it's about, somehow you have to stop. You have to start believing in yourself. And that's a tall order. And I know it sounds heavy just to say it. I hate to say it to you. But you can only get through this by facing. And you'll light up. And that's how the transformation will happen. Here we have the Knight of Water. And this night has been coming up in my consciousness a lot lately, just in, I don't know why, in discussions. Um, and I want to talk about this night in the way that we don't often talk about him. And one, he gets caught up, and he feels this euphoria. He falls in love with life, and but at the very moment that something goes wrong, he's deflated, right? Or he flees. Like, if you know he falls in love very fast, but he falls out of love just as fast, right? This is where most of us live. Even if it's subtle. It's like, oh, this is exciting. I'm bored with that already. We get something that we want very quickly, and then we wanted it, but we didn't know why we wanted it. We didn't even evaluate whether we needed it or not. I just wanted, I wanted, like, FOMO, I gotta have it. And then as soon as you get it, I don't need it, kind of thing. So we're used to this fast food kind of mentality. Like, I don't want to cook, I just want to eat. I don't want to prepare something for myself and make sure everything is good for me, that I need, that my soul needs, and take the time to listen and then prepare it. I just want to do this and I want to move on to something else. And so now this these emotions coming up, all of our shadows, the creations of us, they are the reflections of our beliefs that are harmful, that are not supportive. And we're seeing this on the world stage, in our politics. We're seeing all of this not because he's crazy and that one's crazy, or your side is crazy. No, your side is crazy, that kind of thing. No, it's because we need to see what we've done in order for the light to be instantaneously deliver us, free us from it all. And we need to find a balance. We need to be on a steady flow, um, towards it, and how we use this instrument of love. We don't need to be too quick, and in either direction. We just need to. It's okay to build a steady. First of all, respect. They just keep writing this word. First of all, we need to respect, appreciate the things, and we need to know what it is that we appreciate about them. Sort of like a little gratitude, but this is sort of like an appreciation journal, maybe, where before you do something, just list all the things that you appreciate about it, what you respect about it, and then how you see yourself, how you see this benefiting you. Do you have real purpose for whatever this is that you're going to bring into your life, whether it's a relationship or a new job or whatever it is, so that you start to really get centered in present awareness and with divine inspiration and feelings that are divine, that are helping you to form true connections, evaluating things on what resonates with your heart, so to speak. All right. The seven of air. Just gotta reduce quality notice because of right at the moment I turned this card over, which is just, and so that it said, oh, your video quality might be compromised. So it's an interesting message to pop up when I work with this card. And sevens are about examination and reevaluation, right? In the numerology. And so, what do you need to examine carefully? Just thinking about that message, because certain things might compromise the clarity, the purity of your goals. And so I guess this whole appreciation, making sure things that the connections are respectful, and um, they're, they'll bring value and benefit into your life, and really taking the time to sort of slow down. Just because the energy is moving fast and a lot of things are happening at once, some people, we're seeing all this stuff and it just starts to make us do things, think that, oh, like when the pandemic happened, everybody grabbed all the toilet tissue paper. They weren't thinking about, hey, if I do that or act out of fear, um, then I'm going to create disruption in other people's lives. That we can all just think. I guess that people wanted safety and security and stability, and so they just started. And so we don't want to react to fear, because it can compromise the the quality of this video. Excuse me, but it compromises the quality of our lives, the clarity of our lives, the joy, the peace. So really think about, when you make decisions, make sure that you're coming from a place of love. All right, the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Air. And when she comes up, it's really saying, to take a careful look at what you're doing. And she's wearing a white glove, if you notice that. And so it's that sort of white glove test. You know, don't make sure you just go around and check to make sure things have been done properly. And if and examine situations for, is this something that you need to get involved in, or do you just need to let that go? And not only do it for the trying to, like, you can't polish everything in your life. You want to polish the things that have value and benefit to you, and the rest you need to let it go. You need to get rid of it, because it makes it too much for you to maintain. And so where in your life is it there too many things going on for you to maintain the vibrational frequency of peace and joy and happiness and light and progress? Where is it, you know, what's making it difficult for you to make progress, because these things are just there? So things are popping off. This is a time of activation, but we need to be really centered in appreciation, and we need to be really clear about what is adding value to our lives, and what do we need to just let go of, and making sure, paying attention to those things that compromise the quality of any experience in your life. So before we end this video, I just want to remind you, because I didn't do it at the beginning, but if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do. Like, dislike, select the all notification bell, and please leave comments. Also, if you're looking for an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. And also, if you just like to donate to my channel, you feel inspired to do so, then you can select my PayPal Me link, which you can find in the description area. I just ask people to include in that, in the notes of PayPal, your email address for this particular PayPal Me link, because I can't access it from the app. And also, if you haven't seen the general monthly angel reading, the first link below this video will connect you to that. So I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless you all.